Doing some cliff climbing today. Checking these cliffs out. Just looking for some points, some Indian artifacts and stuff like that. But I didn't bring a shovel, and I didn't bring my bug spray, and I didn't bring anything. And this is a pretty dangerous spot, but let me show you what it looks like. So here's the dangers, stuff like that. And then above me, those rocks are just kind of hanging in there, so I don't want to be here very long. I was just checking it out. If one of these rocks slip, it'll definitely take me off of here. So I'm not going to go on up through there. I've already been over there. Just thought this was pretty cool. But I am going to bring my digger. See if I can dig up some Indian points. Found an Indian artifact right there. Does anybody know what that thing is? Right at the end of my finger, that red berry. That's called an Indian. It's called an Indian turnip. You dig it up, and the root kind of looks like a cucumbery looking thing. And you eat it, but you gotta scrape the outside of it off, or it'll be it burns. It's got like little needles in it, and it will burn the guy's tongue. Whoa! To eat it. Definitely don't want to fall down. I about tripped just now. Thought I heard something. So we'll make our way back around through here. Now this is dangerous, walking a cliff with with one hand on a camera. But you always see, here's a little stick right here. It don't look like it, but there ain't much here to walk on. It's very slippery. Now, I'm not a free soloer or mountain climber or anything. There's millions of people out there that could run across this, but for the average everyday people, no. Be cautious. So we're gonna go right on around through there. Check that out. Just want to find some ginseng. Ginseng, as the Chinese say. Anybody that don't know, I'll show you what a squirrel nest is. See that thing up in that tree? That's either a squirrel nest or a really big red-tailed hawk nest. And I don't see any movement up there, so it's probably a squirrel. Probably a squirrel, you know. It's a lot darker outside than my camera makes it out to be. Drag on, somebody had a fence. Look at this. It's an odd place for a fence. By the way it's growed in there, looks like it ran up and down the hill. I don't know why. There's no way well, if they ran around this, This was probably just a tree growing here, and it grew into the fence. It wasn't like nailed into the fence. Let's say it grew. It probably. Let's get you down there. Gotta crawl. You know, I'm probably going to jinx myself, but I've not seen any copperhead snakes or rattlesnakes in the last 2 years that I've been here. Only black snakes. I did see one in January or whenever. That was really strange. There's a few rocks down there. I don't know where they would have came from. But yeah, Indians would get under these ledges. Not this one probably, but ledges. And they would work under them, but they got to be very solid. They're not going to get under these rickety ledge, you know, something that might fall on them while they're sleeping. They're smart. They were smart. The Native Americans were very intelligent. So, looks like it kind of, I don't know if it flattens off. I'll keep videotaping for another minute or two. Now what I'm doing is I'm pointing the camera every direction where I'm looking, because I'm looking for ginseng or flint that may be exposed, that has been worked on, that might have gotten washed out off the bank or something. Just things like that's what I'm looking for. Oh, I'm glad the Lord is graceful, because that was very dangerous for me to be doing a while ago. You know, people think you got to be a certain way. Now, Christians should act a certain way. I agree with that kind of thinking. But once, you know, a lot of people think you got to do all these works, and bad works and good works and works. But Romans says God's grace saves us, not by works. Works is not, because no matter what you do, you're never going to be good enough. I don't know why people keep saying that kind of thing. Like, once your gift is given, it's a free gift, and you better take it, because a wise man once said, either take the gift or pay the debt in full, because you can't have it both ways. You can't work for it and come up short and him give you some grace. That's not how it is. Jesus Christ done the works. He worked for it and paid in full. He's the only one that ever could have. If you know a person alive that has never thought any kind of bad thought, never looked at any pornography, never imagined any pornography, never looked at a girl with lustful eyes, never have said a unneeded word about somebody you know or somebody you don't know. Those are all guilty sins of guilty with the punishment of hell. All the sins bear the same punishment, from the murderer and rapist and molester and kidnappers and all these horrific things that we all know that's terrible. The gossiper, the one who says foolish things, idle talk. These are all sins as well. Idle thoughts, that just random thoughts that are not of God. Anything that's not of God is a sin. And it can be a bad sin or a good sin. The way we look at it, that ain't the way God looks at it. God looks at it as they're all sins. And if you know anybody that's never done that before, text me. Put it on the comment and I'll call you, because I wanna meet the guy or woman. So believe in Jesus. Believe there's something after this world. I mean, there gotta be. If there's not something after we die, what's the point of even being here? I mean, why we act like we act? We could just do as you please. If God's not real and Jesus is not real, you can just do as you please and you have no worries, because there's no way anybody's ever going to hold you accountable to anything, because if God's not real, there's no point even having morals. There's no point even trying to make friends. There's no point even breathing. It would be better if we would just not even be here. See what I'm saying? I mean, that only makes sense. If God's not real, we shouldn't even be here. And there's no point to be here. And anything that I ever do is never going to matter. And you either. And nobody else. Not The Rock. Not Vin Diesel. Not the Pope. Not anybody. Stephen Colbert. I don't know why he popped in my head, but I used to like him long time ago, like 10, 12 years ago. I used to watch him, and he was funny. He was unbiased. He wasn't as biased in his opinions. And now he just, see, there I go. I was sinning. I was starting to gossip. Did you see that? I was getting ready to gossip about Stephen Colbert, somebody that I don't know anything about, and you didn't need to know what I was going to say. It wasn't good, and it wasn't needful to know. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's a sin flat out. So I'm kind of glad that happened. That way you can see how small we think of these things that carry such a severe punishment. So anyway, believe in Jesus and be saved by grace, by faith. It's free. You don't have to work for it. There's nothing you can do you could ever gain salvation by being good. If you memorize the Bible and didn't sin the rest of your life, you've already sinned. You done messed up. There's no way you can recuperate sins that you have already done, unless like the guy on the YouTube says, you can't take back the sins you already committed. Even when you're 12, even when you're 10 years old, you commit sins because you throw fits and you know it's wrong and you do it anyway. That's ungodly. Anyways, unless someone else pays your fine, someone else pays the bill, someone else takes the punishment, you're not going to make it. And guess who that someone is? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the someone. And something you guys need to think about if you don't know Jesus. Something happened at year 0, because time is measured in BC and AD. And now you know what I'm going to say. Jesus Christ being on earth divided the time. He was so important. We count our time by when he was here and when he left. It's 2022 years since Jesus was born. 1 BC, 1 year before Jesus was born. That's how it's divided. And that's the way it'll always be divided. It's been that way for 2,000 years. Think about that. Maybe that'll give you a little more evidence and confidence to go ahead and start really believing and really trying to find out information and educate yourself on Jesus Christ and the faith, saved by faith. I'm going to go right around this corner here. I'll take us around this corner, and then I'm going to stop videotaping it's getting dark and it's I don't know what's going to come out. Some of these, a lot of these aren't caves, but there is caves, small caves in them. And you don't know what's going to come running out of there. I know it's not going to be a bear. I'm afraid it's going to be a bobcat or a stinking raccoon. A raccoon would be terrible on this ledge. Anything with a skunk would be awful. I've run up on skunks before. Right there's a fine looking spot for a raccoon or a skunk. Or a bobcat. Something been eating a neighbor's chickens. I saw the feathers out in the woods, so I need to find a way back up. That's what I need to do. I need to stop recording and find a way out of here. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. This is Eastern Kentucky. This area I'm in now is around Carter Caves. Carter Caves State Park. It's a very beautiful place. Come and check it out. It's in Kentucky.